So what do you do when you already have too many projects? You load the trailer up and you go pick up another one. That's what you do. There's no such thing as too many projects. All right, there she is, the new project in all her glory. It is a 74 Pontiac Le Mans. I mean, not Le Mans, Ventura. And currently has a big block Chevrolet. I think it's 402. I have no idea about the transmission or rear end or any of that. It's got a little bit of Bondo on this quarter, but other than that, it's a pretty solid old car, so I'm pretty excited about it. So we will move some stuff around in the shop and get it in here before too long, hopefully. Doesn't currently run, but we'll fix that. I'll do a more detailed video on it once we get some stuff moved around and get it in the shop, but there it is. All right, so it's a couple days later and the car is in the shop. I apologize because I am on my cell phone instead of the GoPro. We had a malfunction with the GoPro, and I did a whole ass video on this car and lost all the footage. I think my SD card got corrupted. I know it was on there because I previewed it, and then when I got ready to transfer it, it wasn't there. So it's all gone. But anyway, the car is in the shop. I did swap the wheels over. I put the welds on it. It had these Kraggers on the front, but the guy I made the deal with wanted those back, but it did come with a full set of rally wheels. Obviously that tire's junk, but anyway, of course these tires that are on here are junk too, but I just put them on there to make sure they were going to fit. I was kind of concerned about the back spacing on the rear wheels, but everything seems to be working. So again, I had a whole video of me working on this car and it's gone now. So now the video is going to be me talking about working on the car. So that's cool. Not really. But anyway, to recap, it is a 74 Pontiac Ventura. It does have a 402 big block in it. I think it is a turbo 350 transmission, 10 bolt. Let me get a light. It's kind of dark in there. We'll kind of show you the inside of it. It's a pretty solid old car. There's really no rust on it. I talked to somebody that used to own it a long time ago. It has had quarters replaced. It's got, ooh, goodness, is my light, my battery on my light dead? Yeah, of course. Anyway, oh, the magnet is down. It's got a little Bondo right there that's popped out, but the interior is pretty gutted. It does have a roll bar in it. It did have like a full cage in it, but they've cut it out. You know, the front part, you can see there where it was welded in the floor. Got Mustang seats in it, so that'll have to go. It's bad enough that I have another Pontiac with a Chevy motor, but I don't know about no Mustang seats. But anyway, Friday, which this is Sunday, I got out here messing with it, and of course the wiring on this car is butchered. It didn't run. The brakes don't work. And when I was putting the wheels on it, I found out why the brakes don't work. Part of why it doesn't work, there is no rear brakes. There's no drums. There's no shoes. It's just bare backing plates. There's no lines back there. And the rubber line that goes down to the rear end is just blocked off. So that'll cause you to not have brakes. And I'm sure the master cylinder is no good. I believe this car set for a while. I have a video of it, or I don't have it, but the guy showed me a video from 2015 of it actually running. But I think it has been sitting since then, probably. I don't know how long. I mean, I don't know if it's ran since then.
But I know the carburetor is junk. You can tell it was sitting open like this, um, and I was worried that the motor might be stuck, and it was. I put a breaker bar on it. It didn't want to turn. Kind of messed with it a little bit and broke it loose and did a few revolutions. So then I put just like a remote starter button on it and whirled it over a few times. And it does sound like the flywheel's got some teeth screwed up on it, but so then I just shot a little like weed eater gas down the carburetor, and it did bark off and ran for a second, and of course popped through the carburetor and caught on fire, and so that was exciting. Got that put out, did it again, and it ran and idled for a little bit. I would say a little bit, 20 seconds maybe, and then the carburetor just started puking fuel everywhere, like it was leaking out of every orifice. So that kind of put a damper on that. We shut it down after that. And so I know I need a carburetor, and we'll have to go through like the entire brake system. The whole car needs rewired. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Um, I don't really know for sure what I'm going to do with this car yet. I think I'm just going to let the car tell me what it wants. So if we can get it running with a carburetor and wiring, and this motor's good, we'll just leave it like it is for now and just make a driver out of it. We'll go through all the brakes and all that stuff, make it, run, stop, and steer, and then just kind of go from there. But if the motor has to come out, I would like to put a Pontiac motor back in it. I'll have to find another one. I have of course, I have the one there that was in this car, and I have a bare block, and I've got heads and stuff, so we could build another motor for it if we had to. But it just depends on how things go with it. But we got a lot of stuff going on in the shop right now. We're still working on this car, obviously. This car is priority because Power Tour is coming up in June. So we got to get it all lined out for that. And so we'll probably be bouncing around a lot in the next few videos between the gray car, the black car, the Ventura. So there's no telling what we'll be working on from each video to the next. I do have the rear end ordered for the gray car. I'm starting to get parts in. I've got the axles and the brake assemblies, but I haven't got the housing or the third member yet. And I'm not 100% sure, but from what I understand, like the rotors and calipers and all that stuff are the same for this car and this car. So I have extras over here. So whatever I decide to put on the black car, the other stuff we'll try to put on here. And then when I get the rear end in this car, we'll take the rear assemblies off of this rear end and put in this car. So that'll save us a few pennies. And then we'll just have to buy like soft lines and probably a master cylinder. So try to save as much as we can and use up, stuff we have. I do have the carburetor that is on that motor that I can put on here to test it when I get to that point. And then if if it works, we'll just either leave it on there or get another one. Who knows? I don't know. There is a fuel cell in the trunk that leaks, of course. Let me get my handy dandy Ventura trunk key. Let's see if I can squeeze in here. I need a bigger shop for sure. Come on. Come on. You're making me look bad. Come on. I don't want to have to go get the light to be able to have to see in there. Oh, there it went. Of course, it's dark in here again. But anyway, there's a fuel cell, the roll bar that comes down here. It did have a battery here. So I think somebody at some point was trying to make a drag car out of this. But I don't know if it had stuff in it at one time and they pulled it all out, because I don't think you're going to build a drag car with a stock 402 turbo 350 trans and a 10-bolt rear end. So I don't know if one time it had something more substantial in it, or if they just was planning on making it more substantial. So who knows? I don't know. I know it needs shocks. There is no rear shocks on the back. I think what else? When I was underneath it, like the control arm on this side, like it looks like they hit something. I don't know if if it's been enough to affect the alignment or anything like that. I don't know. We'll worry about that stuff once we get it running. That'll be the biggest thing right now, is getting it to run and getting it to stop. But other than that, I'm really tickled with the car. I'm very happy with it. I've wanted this car for about 10 years. It was sitting on a car lot in another town about 10 years ago or so. And I stopped and looked at it, and I can't remember, we were going somewhere or traveling. Anyway, when I got back, it was gone. And the guy that bought it is the guy that's had it this whole time. And I think I hit him up a couple times trying to buy it over the years. And so, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, it popped up on Marketplace. So I messaged him, we made a deal, and I drug it home. So, but yeah, it's got a Griffin aluminum radiator. I mean, got some good stuff. It just, you know, just another old car that needs pretty much everything. But it does have paint on it. It's all one color, which is unusual for me, you know. Um, I'm hoping it'll clean up pretty good. It's got some weird stuff in like, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if you can see it, but there's like, feels like a tape line all up through there. And then this is kind of, I don't know, but it's just on that side. It's not like that over here. This is the best side. This side, it's straight. None of the Bondos popped out. But I like it. It's a cool car. It's got a homemade cowl hood. A guy, I posted it on um, like a Ventura page on Facebook, and a guy messaged me from or not messaged me, he just commented on it from Texas. I guess this used to be his little brother's car, and I guess his dad made this scoop. And it's what he said, it was his dad's first and last attempt at making a cowl hood. So, I mean, it's not too bad. Of course, it's got some spots, but finding parts for these cars are hard. Like, you don't see a lot of Ventura stuff. So finding a stock hood will probably be pretty difficult, but if I run across one, great. If not, I'll just leave that hood on it. But like, the floors are solid. The trunk pan has been replaced, and it looks good from the top side, but it looks horrible from the bottom side. So I don't know if I'll do something with that. But yeah, they just kind of overlapped it, and it's pretty hacked up looking on the bottom side. But let's see if I can get my light to, I don't know what's going on with this light. I think maybe the battery's dead. Yeah, anyway. So, but like I said, the fuel cell, I think, is cracked on this corner over here, and then the lines are leaking. So we'll have to do something with that. These are Firebird marker lights. The Venturas had this like rectangular ones down here, so they filled those in and put those in. And these are just reflectors, I guess, because there's nothing on the inside to put bulbs in, but I like it. So I think it looks pretty cool. But the welds obviously need cleaned up and new tires, but I'm not doing anything, not spending any money on it until we make it run and I know that the motor's healthy, and then we'll kind of go from there. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of give an update on the car. I know I said I was going to do a video on it, and I did, but we lost it all. So I usually try to upload videos on Friday. Try, and I use that word loosely. But so today is Sunday. I'll get this one maybe uploaded today, but I just kind of wanted to let everybody see it and see what the plan was. But mostly I just want to try to make it a driver, kind of like this car, just nothing super fancy, but I do not want to LS it. If I can help it, I either will leave the big block in it or put a Pontiac motor in it. And hopefully these two can get along out here when I'm not in the shop. I don't know, we'll see. But we're still working on the black car. I did get new rubber stuff for the control arms, the new bump stops, and the new boots for the ball joints, because the stuff was brand new and it just started crumbling. It's just crappy stuff, but it's just cheap crap. But these are the boots. Like, you think, oh well, somebody used a pickle fork to get them apart. No, they just deteriorated sitting there. So it's got all new stuff. I did get my pedals. I just ordered the whole thing that come with brake and clutch pedal, which I had the brake pedal. I just really all I needed was the clutch pedal and the bolt that goes through it and the bushings, but it was easier just to get the whole thing. And I just put it in there for now just to make sure it's going to fit. I'm going to take it all back out and we'll sandblast this and paint it. And that way when we do the floor pans and stuff, I want to just coat the inside with something or paint the inside. And I'm going to fill all that in. And but anyway, back to the GoPro issue we had. I did get new SD cards. I think that's what happened, is my SD card may have got corrupted. So yeah, I've had a lot of issues with this GoPro, and I've lost a lot of footage. I'm sure you've seen me complain about this before on here if you've watched any of my other videos, but it's frustrating, very frustrating to do a whole video and then lose it. So before, I've only lost just little bits and pieces, but I lost a whole complete video this time, so that's aggravating as hell. But oh yeah, and like there's no heater, air, like the firewall's just bare on it. So if we're gonna make it a street car, we'll have to at least have some heat. I would really like to have air conditioning, but I don't think I'm gonna spend that kind of money on this car, and because it's not gonna be like like the gray car where we drive it a lot. It'll just be a little weekend cruiser occasionally. But I mean, it's a cool looking car. I know a lot of people don't like the Venturas, but I mean, it's basically just the Pontiac version of a Nova. Basically from the firewall back, it's a Nova. But the bad thing about these cars is nobody makes Ventura specific stuff, like aftermarket stuff. Like I tried to find like a catalog like Classic Industries or whatever. They have Nova stuff, which I guess I'm just going to get one of those, and then maybe the stuff they'll interchange I can find, because like I know it needs door seals. There's no door seals on it, so the doors just rattle, and like the glass is loose. But yeah, there's no rubbers on the doors, and I can't be having rattling like that. But the guy that had it before me, he started trying to figure out the wiring, I think. But I think I'm just going to get a whole like aftermarket harness and put on it and be done with it, because I hate doing wiring anyway, and I really hate working on butchered wiring to try to make it right. So I think it'd be easier just to do a whole harness. I mean, that just makes more sense to me, because by the time you do all the splicing and patching and repairing, I mean, you're gonna have a whole new harness anyway. So, but it's just a cast iron intake, and that Edelbrock. I'm not a huge fan of Edelbrock carburetors. I'd rather have a Holley. So I don't know. if I put a different intake on it and stuff, I don't know how much hood clearance I've got. I mean, it's open right here, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. Which they make aluminum intakes that sit low like this. But I've had a few big blocks in my life, but never, I haven't really fooled with them a lot, so I don't know much about them. I'm hoping that even a stock 402 will have enough oomph to propel this little car, I would think. I mean, should. I had a Monte Carlo back when I was younger that was just a stock 402 car, high geared. Of course, it had the turbo 400 in it, and I mean, it run great, and it wasn't no race car or nothing, but it had a little bit of oomph to it. And then I had another 402 in a truck that was built. I didn't build it. Somebody else had built it. It was stout. Uh, but I don't, like I said, I don't really want to have to go through that motor and rebuild it right now. So if it won't do what I want it to do, we'll do something different. If I'm gonna build a motor for it, I'll build a Pontiac motor for it, and then we'll pull this out and save it for another project. I'm sure at some point I'll have an old Chevrolet truck or something I can put it in. But anyway, that's kind of the gist of it for right now. Let me know what y'all think about it. What would y'all like to see me do to it other than just making it run and drive? Comment below and tell me what y'all think. And what y'all think about the wheels. Should we leave those wheels on it? I have another set of a full set of Rally wheels, like Rally 2 wheels over here. Can't really get to them, but they got brand new tires and everything, so we can put those on it if we have to. But I really like the look of the welds on it. I like the big and littles. I would like to put a little bit taller tire on the front. I think those are like maybe 25.5 inch tall. I was thinking maybe 27 if they will fit. And then with the 275/60s on the back, I think that would be good. It does sit a little nose high, but I don't know. We'll just see how it goes once we start really getting into it. But priority number one really is just making it run. So I'll come up with a game plan on that, whether we just throw a carburetor on it and see what happens, or whatever. But I can make, like I said, I can make it run like with a starter button or stuff. But like the wiring is so bad, it won't start from the key. And like there's just wires just hanging all over this thing that are cut and spliced, and there's like somebody, a carpenter obviously has been working on this car. Don't put these on your car. So yeah, I hate doing wiring, but I mean I have completely rewired this car, but that was with stock type aftermarket harnesses. Like I don't know that they make. I haven't really looked, a lot, but I haven't found Ventura specific wiring harnesses. I know you can get Nova harnesses, but I've seen like the Speedway, like the 24 circuit harnesses that, I think I'd just go that way instead of be a lot cheaper, because it was expensive getting, because you had to buy each individual harness. You got to buy the dash harness, the engine harness, the headlight harnesses, the taillight harnesses. So it added up quick. So I think going with the aftermarket, just kind of like a cheapy little harness will be the way to go on this car. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, this side, the only hickey it's got on this side is right behind the back tire. I don't know if they had a blowout or something, but it's got a dent right there. But I think I can pop that out. There's no Bondo in it right there, so we may try to work that one out. But, that's not priority. I mean, body wise, it looks good enough for me. I mean, I'd drive it just like it is, just and not bother me a bit. But just once we get all the mechanical stuff figured out. But obviously, he was trying. It's got a new fuel pump on it, new fuel lines, new fuel filter. Got a brand new distributor, it looks like, in it. So, but yeah, that carburetor is junk. Like it probably ran for maybe 10 or 15 seconds, and it was leaking all around here, all around the base plate, and like it just filled the whole intake fuel. So I was afraid it was going to backfire again and, burn my shop down. So I haven't really messed with it anymore. And then I ain't gonna lie, once I lost all that footage, I got pretty frustrated, and then I didn't even want to mess with it after that. So I wasn't even out here in the shop yesterday. I was so pissed off. But anyway, hopefully the new SD cards will work. I haven't had a chance to test them yet. That's why I'm just using my phone to do this quick little video. And then I'll play with the GoPro a little bit and make sure it's going to work before I, do another 45-minute video and lose it again. So, but I'm still learning on all this camera stuff and, all the editing stuff. I really need to get better at that. I need to learn more about that stuff. But, I turn wrenches. I don't do computer shit. So I'll get there one of these days maybe. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think about this car. So leave me a comment and let me know. Tell me what you think. I posted a few shorts on it, just kind of showing it. Like I think the day I got it, and I did just a stupid little thing with these two cars. But yeah, I really want to know what everybody thinks about it. Um, it's a really cool car, I think. I mean, I dig it. So, and I've really been wanting this car and been wanting. I've looked at a few other Venturas over the years that were a lot rougher than this one, that were a lot more expensive than this one. So I'm glad that I held out and got this one instead. But like I said, I do wish it had a Pontiac engine in it, but eventually it probably will, but who knows. But anyway, I think I've been rambling on long enough and complaining long enough about my GoPro woes. So I'm going to let y'all go now. I appreciate it. And thanks for watching. And please like and subscribe. And probably the next video will be back on this car, unless the rear end comes in for the gray car. And then we'll do that. So, and I'll start trying to slowly gather up parts for this thing, and hopefully either maybe another video or two will get this thing busted off. So anyway, thank y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one.